Morning, everybody. Once again, yeah, it's going to be kind of an interactive deal. It's not so formal, so you don't need to act too formal. I am wearing jeans. My name is Elon Babchuk. I happen to be a rabbi, but much more importantly, I also grew up with Laura, and incredibly flattered to have been asked to be here and honored as we welcome a new child into the covenant, as we welcome new parents into the world, and as we solemnify, as we make it official that they are a new family too. For those who don't know, the word bris, right? You all came here for a bris. When you hear the word bris, what do you think of?
Circumcision.
You think of a circumcision. Well, I have good news for you. There will be no circumcision. There has already been a circumcision. The truth, actually, is that bris, in Hebrew brit, that's 9 years of Shekhar for you. I know one word in Hebrew. Brit means covenant. So we're actually here to make official the covenant between this newborn baby and God. However, that is just a tiny percentage of what this ceremony means. What this ceremony actually means, the larger meaning behind it, is that this child will get a name. His name will become official in the eyes of this community, in the eyes of God, and in the eyes of his parents. It just so happens that last week, one of the most famous names in the Torah was written about. So last week's Torah portion talked about a guy named Bezalel. Spoiler alert, that is not the name of the baby. Nevertheless, a beautiful name. So Bezalel, at age 13, built the Mishkan, the traveling sanctuary that the Israelites used for 40 years while they were in the desert, going from Egypt to their promised land of Israel. That's a lot to accomplish at age 13, but in fact, the most interesting thing about Bezalel is his name. There are books written by traditional rabbis, by the ancient rabbis, about what his name means, and I just want to give two of those important pieces of commentary. The first one is that Bezalel is short for B'Tselem Elohim. In the book of Genesis, we read that humankind was created B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. So Bezalel, himself a creator, was created in the image of God. And then when he created the Mishkan, the sanctuary, he did so in the image of God. He had skill, wisdom, understanding, actually a lot of chutzpah, and all of those things are considered divine. Now second, and I think even more relevant to this morning, is the Midrash about names in general that was written about Bezalel. Midrash is sort of a piece of rabbinic commentary, and I want to share that with you. It teaches us that one's first name tells us a little bit about that person. It tells us maybe who they were named after. It tells us what that name means to the parents that gave that name to the baby. And we will learn this newborn's first name in just a moment. It tells us that the second name, the last name, the inherited name, can tell us a little bit about the context in which that person was born. It tells us about the family, what it means to be a Conrad, what it means to be a Mandel. But the third name is the most important. The third name is the name that this child will make for himself. And so we are here today to offer a lot of blessings to these new parents, to this new child. But the blessing that we will share is that this newborn will have the opportunity to live up to his first name, to inherit his second name, and that both of you, Laura and Mike, will create the space for him, will give him the trust, the love, the confidence, the morals, the values, and the freedom to, over time, make a name for himself as well. I want to begin this morning's ceremony by inviting all four grandparents to read a prayer, and then we will welcome the newborn baby into the room.
Our God and God of all generations, we are grateful for new beginnings, for the bond of life that links one generation to the other. We are thankful for the blessings of family, which bring meaning and happiness into our lives. And we rejoice with our children at the birth of their child, our grandson.
May we grow together as a family, in health and strength, in harmony and in love.
And let us all say together, Amen.
Amen.
We're now going to welcome this newborn baby into the room. And as he makes his way in, I want you to repeat after me. Baruch haba.
Baruch haba.
Blessed is this newborn baby, welcomed into this room, into this family, and into this community. You're going to be up
Hineni mukhan umuzman lekayem mitzvot aseh shetzivanu haboreh yibarech lamul et beni kekatuv b'Torah uven shmonat yamim yimol lachem kol zachar ledorotechem. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of having my son circumcised, as the praiseworthy Creator has commanded us in the Torah. Throughout your generations, every male among you shall be circumcised when he is 8 days old.
So now I want to ask, how old is he?
3 weeks today.
And has he been circumcised?
Yes.
Okay, we can skip 3 pages.
I will spare you all. You're welcome.
And then we get to cut to the part that says, after the circumcision, you can say this blessing. It's magical.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahachniso brito shel Avraham Avinu. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, whose mitzvot add holiness to our lives, and who gave us the mitzvah to bring this child into the covenant of Abraham, our father.
Amen. And now I'll ask you to repeat after me. It's a little Hebrew, so I'll take it slow. Kishem,
Kishem,
Shenichnas,
Shenichnas,
Labrit,
Labrit,
Cain,
Cain,
Yikanes,
Yikanes,
L'Torah,
L'Torah,
U'Lechuppah,
L'Chuppah,
U'Lema'asim,
L'Ma'asim,
Tovim.
Tovim.
Just as he has entered the covenant, so may he enter the blessings of Torah, Chuppah, and a life of Ma'asim Tovim, of good deeds. Laura, I want to invite you to say a few words about your new son's name. Oh, sure.
He's got a speech. It's not that long, it's a big font.
Words. Space.
Right, there was a lot to say, I'm sorry. So, thank you all for being here today, sincerely, for the long anticipated arrival of this little guy. We know that by most standards, 7 years was a long time to get here, and I know you've all asked, and you now have received. So, thank you for being here to celebrate. Aside from all of you who are here today, we are really lucky to have a lot of family members who are not here today. Sorry, this is... whose names we're proud to carry forward through this little guy. Zachary Conrad Mandel. From my grandma Jeanette and grandpa Ludwig, who lived in this building for many years, and Mike's grandpa Harold and grandma Florence. We had an incredibly hard time giving Zach a name that represented so much of who they were and how important they all were to us. After much debate, he's good, he doesn't speak, but he helps. So after much debate and the threat of leaving the hospital without the birth certificate paperwork finalized because it scared the heck out of me, we came to the name Zachary Conrad because it pays meaningful homage to both sides of our family. The name Zachary remembers Svi, the Hebrew name of Mike's maternal grandpa, Harold Heidowitz, who was not only a beloved father and grandfather, but was also a brave and decorated bombardier in World War II. Beyond his heroism, Grandpa Harold was a strong role model for Mike throughout his life, and I'm so glad that I knew him before he passed away. Z is also representative of someone who is very special to my grandma. Her Tante Zara, her aunt in Germany, who was not lucky enough to escape. But when my grandmother left Germany during the Holocaust, she brought that family story with her. And without Grandpa Harold and his wife Grandma Florence and my Grandma Jeanette and her whole family and my grandpa, Mike and I would not be here without their heroism. And we're proud to pass this down to him. As many of you know, Laura Conrad, despite Mandel, is who I really am. You don't know this. So the middle name Conrad is especially meaningful to me. It also happens to be a good boy's name that isn't just a last name. When my dad's dad came from Germany during the Holocaust, his last name was actually Cohn, as in Cohen, not Conrad. And when he got to New York, his cousin told him, "You're never going to get a job with such a Jewish-sounding name, so you better change it." So he changed it to Conrad. So while it's not technically a long-standing family name, it's a name that bears strength, determination, and a sense of renewal. That's really important to me. And since the Conrad name will end, because you only see two girls here, we figured Zach can carry it on as his middle name and continue the story that was his brave family in Germany. Similarly, in Hebrew, Zach's name is Zvi Cohn, following the Jewish roots of these namesakes. Zvi, which actually means deer in Hebrew, and Cohn, like I said, comes from Cohen, which were the high priests in the ancient temple. These names bring our family roots together from the past into the present. Carrying names that remember such important people on both sides of our family, we have many wishes for Zachary. We hope that he will be as brave as Grandpa Harold, as strong and resilient as Grandpa Ludwig, as kind and as funny as Grandma Jeanette, as loving as Tante Zara, as chill as his dad, which he is already, and as strong-willed or maybe a little stubborn like his mama, which he already is too. And do justice to the Cohns, the Conrads, the Lowensteins, the Gans, the Heidewitzes, the Stahlbergs, and the Mandels before you. We took time having this little guy, as you all know, because we wanted to live every day fully and to make sure we had no regrets when he came along. Not only do we not have any regrets, but we're really thankful already that he is the little guy that he is. We hope that he'll live every day fully, shine the light of the amazing family members who precede him, and grow to be strong, independent, creative, and as sweet as a boy as he already is. Thank you all for being here. And a special thank you to Grandma and Grandpa ×2 here for helping with everything today, because we could not all be here without all of them. So, thank you.
So now I understand you had to go to the petting zoo in Thailand and the Great Wall in China before you had kids.
Exactly, I told you. I had to get the monkey pictures and tiger pictures for his room, don't you know? To that second hand.
It all comes together.
Important bucket list.
Very, very important.
So no good Jewish ceremony ends without some wine. So I'm now going to say the blessing over wine. We will say another one later in order to mark the beginning of the meal, the festive meal. And then I will formally announce Zach's name. Although once it made it to Facebook, it was official.
Wait for 8 days and do it then, right?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidesh yadid mi beten v'chol pisher osam v'tzetzav chatam be'ot brit kodesh al ken bizchar zot achai chalkenu tzurenu tzaveh le'atzil yedidut she'ereinu mishachat Leman b'to asher sam b'bsarenu Baruch atah Adonai koret habrit. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, creating the fruit of the vine. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, who sanctified our beloved ancestors from the womb, who brings law and flesh together, sealing our offspring with the sign of the Holy Covenant. Therefore, living God, our rock and our portion, command good health for this child by virtue of your covenant, so integral to our lives. praised are you, Adonai, who establishes the covenant. Let us say Amen.
Amen.
Eloheinu v'le'avoteinu, kayem ha'yeled hazeh le'avivu le'imo, v'yikaresh mo v'Yisrael, tzvikon ben Moshe v'Leah, yismacha v'yotzech alatzav, v'tagel imo b'fri vidna, kakatu v'yismacha v'icha v'imecha, v'tagel yoladetecha, ונאמר ועבור עלייך וערך מתבוססת בדמייך ואומר לך בדמי חיי ואומר לך בדמי חיי ונאמר זכר לעולם בריתו דבר ציווה לאלף דור אשר כרת את אברהם ושבועתו ליצחק ויעמידיה ליעקב לחוק לישראל ברית עולם, ונאמר וימול אברהם את יצחק בנו בן 8 ימים כאשר ציווה אותו אלוהים. Now I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. Hodu, Ladonai, Ki Tov, Ki Leolam, Chasdo. זה הקטון צפיקון בן משה ולאה הגדול יהיה כשם שנכנס לברית, כן ייכנס לתורה ולחופה ולמעשים טובים. ונאמר Amen. Our God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child. Let him be known among the people Israel as Zachary, son of Laura and Michael. May his mother be blessed with regained strength, and may both parents find joy in their child. With love and with wisdom, may they be privileged to teach him the meaning of the covenant which he has entered today, and may they inspire him to seek the truth and the ways of peace. Through their example, may his heart be open to the Torah and to its ways. May this child, Zachary, grow into greatness as a blessing to his family, to the Jewish people, and to all of humanity. As he has entered the covenant, so may he attain the blessings of Torah, of Chuppah, the wedding canopy, and Maasim Tovim, good deeds. And let us all say together, Amen.
Amen.
As much as you want. Yeah, Lador Vador. And now the last two.
Going kind of far.
We're going to hold them together and oh, jeez. I'm actually going to give you this. Oh, just going to wrap it around yourself.
Whose towel is it? Whose is it?
This one's mine. That
one's
one
yours, but the one that
is
he's
his
wearing.
grandfather's.
These are all grandpas.
Yep. And the last thing that we do in this naming ceremony is very apropos to his middle name and what his middle name was before it was changed, which is Cohn, because I'll be offering him and actually the whole family a priestly blessing. It's the blessing that used to be given by the high priest in the days of the temple, and these days given by teachers to students, rabbis, congregants, and parents to children on Friday nights. Zachary, may God bless you and protect you. May God show you favor and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and always grant you peace. Let us all say, Amen. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov,